What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna be working on some more bracket stuff, some more interior stuff, and not really sure what else, but we'll see what we get into today. So I'm trying to avoid having to use the cutter because it makes a lot of mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the shears and see. Really, it's more like hopefully I can cut all the way through this thing. Now it's not a very thick aluminum, it's pretty thin. So you guys can see I did try it with a smaller shear. This thing right here, it's able to cut it, but I keep getting stuck. Alright, so I'm gonna try it with this one, and I think this is the right shape that I want. So yeah, I think this is gonna work. I should really invest in what do you call those things? Air cutter. Air shears? I don't really know what they're called, but the one that uses air. Because this is fine, but yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna have to use the cutter here. You know what? I completely forgot I have one of these. Alright, so that's gonna be the base. As you guys noticed, I curved the bottom part here a little bit, just to add a little bit more structure so it doesn't just, so it doesn't easily flex. So, gonna go ahead and actually test fit this. I will have to clean this up a little bit. So those are just rough cuts, and then I actually don't need it to be like this much. It just needs to be like maybe, I don't know, 2 mm or 3 mm from here. Very thin, just enough to add the structure, kind of like this, right? This right here is good, but this right here is a bit much. Check out this weld. It's actually pretty hard to weld really thin aluminum. I'm surprised I didn't burn through that. Alright, we are back inside the car here, and I guess we gotta get this one going. Alright, so that is how that's gonna sit. Well, this one's gonna be facing up a little bit more. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It's like a nice little table for this thing. Now, the reason why I drilled the hole in the back here is because this little port right here, it needs a straight through, and it's a vacuum hose or a boost hose, so it can't really bend. Now the rest of the stuff, what I'm gonna have to do is just kind of trim all these little pieces, make it nice and neat, clean it up a little bit more. Like I don't need this full bracket, for example. I'm just gonna trim it like this. But so far, I think that's how that's gonna sit. Alright, so the boost control did come with a double-sided tape. Just 2 little strip here. Now I'm not sure if this is going to be strong enough, but I'm going to put it on anyway, and then I'll put like a zip tie over. Alright, so I'll put it right here. So here's a closer look. 2 zip ties just hold it up. I just drilled a hole under here just to hold it in place. And the same thing on this side. Alright, just to make sure everything is oriented correctly, powered it on. Looks good, guys. Looks good. 2 packages showed up in the mail today. Not really sure which one this one is, but let's open it up and see. Okay, let's see here. Our brake pads. Wow, that was quick. So we're gonna be going with EVC, as you guys can see here, EVC yellow. Alright, now this one is sweet. It's our battery terminal. I bought like the 3/8 one. Maybe it's a little bit too big. Yeah. Oh well, we'll make that work. Maybe I should have gone with something smaller. And then a USB charger, and of course just a regular cigarette lighter just in case I need something else plugged in. And this thing is supposed to be like an LED reader right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Tells you voltage already, or also. So that's good. I don't have to install a voltmeter. Alright, nothing really that we're gonna install today. Gonna put that on the side. Oh my goodness. Alright, this thing is no joke. Check this out, guys. So I lifted the seat up just to, you know, I was trying to take out this cover right here. Check that out. Look at all that wiring. Holy crap. Like, what is that for? What is that? I don't even know what it's for. Look at all this stuff. What is that? I mean, in theory, guys, there's not a whole lot of stuff that I need to keep in this car. I mean, if I talk it through, right, I need headlight, taillights, so that I could actually hard wire if I want to, but preferably I'll use the stock system for that, unless it becomes like really annoying to work with. And then other than that, I'll have my hazard light, turn signal, so anything light related I'd like to keep. Functionality outside of that, I'm not sure what else you need. I mean, windows, sure, but the two back ones are probably convert to Lexan. Also the back one's going to be all Lexan. The driver's side and passenger side, I'm not sure if they make an Audi with manual doors or manual windows. That'll be awesome if they do. I gotta look that up. But if they don't, I'll probably just keep just those two motor on the side. And then I'll have a very simple wiring, so I don't have all the other stuff kind of integrated in that wiring. So the bare minimal. Everything from the top is already gone, so I can't think of anything else really. Now I do have some concern because I'm still using the factory key, which means I'm kind of putting them in the ignition, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem or not. If anything, I'll probably just wire up my engine harness on a standalone system. I mean, it already is, but you know, outside of the body. This is turning out to be a lot more work than I had, you know, originally planned at this moment. It's definitely getting late now. I'm gonna call this a night and then start back up tomorrow. Alright, I'm gonna go state the obvious here and say that this is a different day. This is actually day 3. And so far so good. So we got the driver's side out, and oh, that's not gonna work. I need a little bit more space here. But as I was saying, I got the driver's side out. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the passenger side, and I think if I can, or if I have enough time, I'll go ahead and actually take out all the carpeting and all that stuff. Clean enough. I mean, you know, it's kind of dirty, but clean enough that I'm gonna start working on taking off the panels on this side, just like I did on the other side there. Alright, more panels removed, and I think it's time for the carpet to come out. Since I'm gonna make this easier, I'm just gonna cut it all in pieces, and that way I'm not struggling with trying to take this whole thing out. Look at all this wiring on this car. Now, I had a Mark III Super once. Ripped out the interior. I actually swapped it from like a burgundy to a gray interior, and it did not look like this. I mean, granted, it was from like 90. I think actually that one was like from 89. You know. But yeah, the amount of wiring inside this cabin, my goodness, it just like never ends everywhere. Insane. Okay, now here's the challenging or fun part, or however you want to call it. I need to figure out which wire I don't need, which wire I do need. I think that's what makes it a little bit more of a challenge, is I don't really know which one goes to which one I want. So this is gonna take a few days. Well, not a full day, but you know, few partial days. But what I'm kind of thinking of as far as how am I gonna tackle this is maybe start in the back, work my way up to the front, and kind of figure out which wire I don't need and which wires I do need. We're gonna do this old school and just kind of trace down what we have on the ground and not really looking at schematics and all that stuff. Alright, so this is pretty much gonna be the tedious part of the build, or the breakdown, is figuring out all these wires, because obviously I won't need a lot of it. So unfortunately that means cutting it down, and figuring out which one we actually need and which one we don't need. So just so you guys know, you probably guys already figured this out already, but I don't know what a whole lot of this thing does. Alarm. Okay, so that's for the alarm. And ESP? I have no idea. So to me, as I'm taking this off, I'm not going to explain each and every single one, because one, I don't know what it is, and two, I really don't care what it's for. So if you guys see me just kind of disconnecting something and, you know, without really caring much for what it is, that explains why. Okay, big one to note, I have officially decided to not keep any of this wiring right here, mainly because I'm gonna be going with Lexan. So I want to do like skins for the door, passenger side door. I mean, if I want to have a passenger here, which is probably just my kids, I'll tell you guys that much. If that's the case, I'll bring him to the front door, or the front door here. So that will be more of just a skin. I mean, it's gonna have a cage anyway, so it's all gonna be protected. But I'm kind of thinking the back doors won't even open. It'll just be like a skin with a Lexan windows. So there's no real need for me to keep all the wirings on the side. So I'll probably just go ahead and rip it out all the way through. Get rid of this as well. Even as far as the handles from the inside. Something it's like holding it back. I just don't know what. Is it literally just glued in here? Oh, it is glued in there. Alright, one more. That one's not very heavy, but it adds up, you know. Alright, now let's go in the back or in the trunk and see what we can remove from there. Alright, so from this end, it looks like I'm gonna be running into the radiator issue. I mean, everything is in the way here. So I'm gonna put you guys just down, and then I'll rip out whatever I could find here. I mean, same concept, right? Still trying to keep the headlights or the tail lights, and whatever I find critical. Alright, so I think I have everything disconnected on the back as far as passenger side, and I can finally take out all this wiring. And I put this like weird foam on here. I guess it's either, yeah, it's definitely for either noise or just overall keeping the air out. This is, for a foam, this is actually kind of heavy. Not heavy enough that it's impactful, but heavy enough. Okay. Oh look, there's more stuff over here. Man, they really like packed this with random stuff. Well, it's not random, but you know, they really packed this up though with sound deadening. Now, looking back after I opened this up, I could have actually easily gone, you know, this steam port right here, I could have easily just gone down this way and routed it. Would have been a lot easier. But yeah, we're here now. It's kind of too late for that. Okay, now these are all the wires that goes to the back. This was like for the air pump thing. This is the only one that I need, which is for the tail light. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna split this up. Don't need this wire right here, so I'm gonna split this up and then kind of trace it all the way back to where it goes. Alright, so it looks like it's separated here. All this stuff right here is for the light, and then this actually goes to the tank, so I could actually completely just separate this whole thing all together, which is pretty awesome. Let me pause real quick and walk you guys through what exactly is going on with Audi's wiring. It looks like we started from there, comes out this way on the driver's side, and then from here it splits. The rest of the stuff that goes to the back goes there, and then the passenger side taillight follows this route right here, and then go back that way. And everything else, the doors and everything, goes this way, goes to the passenger floor, and comes back out this way. Instead of just going this way, straight there, Audi decided to go all the way to the back and come back to the front. Interesting choice.